speed reviewing 20 new makeup products that I've been testing. If you guys are new here, welcome to my speed reviews series. This is one of my favorite videos I do on my channel because you have my guarantee. If I talk about a product, I will come back and let you know my final thoughts on it after I've tested it multiple times, not just one time, in multiple ways with multiple other products. So I have 20 products that were ready to be pulled out of my speed reviews drawer and put into the main population because I'm ready to give you my final thoughts on them. None of these products are from the Sephora sale items that I picked up. That's going to be a whole separate speed reviews. But before the Sephora situation, I actually did have a lot of products that I was ready to talk about. So here we are now. Let's get into it, shall we? I have two foundations to kick us off. The first one is one that I picked up in Spain this winter. So it has been in my speed reviews drawer for a while because, to be honest, I didn't really want to reach for it that often. I just wasn't inclined to. But this is the Max Factor Miracle Touch Cream to Liquid Foundation. So this is going to be for those of you in Europe who are able to pick this up. This was almost good. It really intrigued me because I do like pot foundations, but they can be a little bit tricky. The cream to liquid foundation sounded really interesting to me. Like I said, it's almost good. You can very easily over apply this product, but if you don't, it looks nice and it looks thin. There's a very fine line between looking thin to looking thick with this product, I've discovered. The only thing with this, I guess not the only, but another thing about this as well is it is a little bit drying on me. I don't feel like it really becomes a liquid. It does spread out on the skin easier than you think, but for me this is just an okay product. Like I said, it was almost good, but because it can look dry on my skin, it's not my personal favorite. I'm not as familiar with the products in Europe, so I can't say that I'd recommend this to you. I don't know really what else is out there. I'm thinking in terms of products that I'm not familiar with that you can get in Europe. Anyways, this is an okay product. I don't see it lasting in my collection for very long, but when I was in Spain, even though Max Factor is not a popular brand whatsoever, we can't get it in the US, and I thought that this looked really interesting. It had interesting marketing, and it was okay. Now this next product is an amazing product from the drugstore. It's by Catrice. It's their Nude Drop Tinted Serum Foundation. First of all, one thing to note, this is not tinted. Okay, this gives a good medium coverage. It's not as much coverage as their normal foundation in this packaging. This one is lighter weight. It does have a little bit more glow, but it also still has a good amount of coverage. I'm not mad at it. It works really well on my dry skin. It doesn't emphasize any dry patches. It feels really lightweight on the skin. It applies beautifully. So yeah, if you felt like the original foundation of this was too full coverage, it was just too heavy, I think you'll really like this one. I think if you mix the two together, oh, it would be perfect. But anyways, if you're looking for a good foundation from the drugstore, Catrice really killed it with this product. Two concealers to cover, the first one being a new one from L'Oreal. This is a True Match Serum Concealer. If I'm being honest, this isn't my favorite from the drugstore. I wouldn't go as far as to say as it's a bad product. It's thin, it doesn't have a ton of coverage, so be mindful of that. I think a little bit of color correction would do you good if you have some dark circles because it doesn't do a good job of covering them. You can see the darkness right there. And it's a little bit on the drying side. Nothing offensive. Like I said, it is not a bad product. It's just you can get better. So, middle of the road, really thin, not a ton of coverage, which is okay, I can deal with that, but it also sits a little bit dry on the under eyes. So I'm about this. I have another drugstore concealer. These are not new or anything, but I had these in a PR package from months ago that was sent to my mom's house originally when I was still living in Miami, and I just like picked them up all late and stuff. But I've been using the Kokie Double Time Full Cover Concealer. Look at me in the eyes. This is one of the most full coverage concealers I've ever used. I mean, it's Tarte Shape Tape level, if not even more. Because of that, it can be drying, but all things considered, for how full coverage it is, it's not bad. Like, I prefer this over Tarte Shape Tape. So if you're looking for an affordable, super full coverage concealer, this one's pretty nice. Because it is so full coverage, a little bit thick in consistency, it doesn't wear the best over time. I mean, if you set it with like a Huda Beauty powder, it will wear just fine. But it's a lot between the full coverage and then the Huda Beauty like baking powder, how I bake with it. It's a lot. But when I want perfected skin, the strongest coverage concealer, I might go as far as to say as this is the most full coverage concealer in my collection. I need to go head to head with a few other products before we make that official here, but easily the most full coverage drugstore concealer or affordable concealer that I've ever used. And it's not too drying or anything, like it's a pretty good formula. I have two products from Persona that are new to me, not new to the market, but I finally got my hands on these to test out. So we'll start off with the Bronze Multi-Stick in the shade Mojave. It's like a wee bit light on me, but on natural makeup days, this is a beautiful cream bronzer. It blends out great. It doesn't have too much coverage, so it is very easy to get an even blend with this. The tone of this is so neutral and pretty. I feel like if you're very fair and on the cool side, this won't be offensive to you. No, this is really, really nice. It's just like a hair too light for me for bronzy makeup days, but it blends out so nice. It doesn't have a set down, so keep that in mind, but it's gorgeous. And then, of course, you can imagine they have the multi-stick blushes, so they are just as good as the bronzer. I have the shade Bloom. It's the prettiest spring kind of pinky shade. Really creamy, easy to blend out, not too much pigmentation, which is great because you can't over apply this product, but also not too sheer, just like the perfect amount. Doesn't set down, so it stays truly cream on the face. So sometimes, you know, depending on what you're doing for the day, you might need to set with a powder over top. But no, these are really beautiful formulas. I see why they are a best-selling product. I feel like I talked about this launching and then I never talked about it again. This is the Natasha Denona Berry Pop Cheek Trio, and if I'm being honest, you guys, I don't love this. I took so long to update you on my thoughts on this because I didn't really want to wear it. So there are 3 products in here. There's a cream blush, which is almost more of like a cream to matte dry down or cream to powder. A tinted glow cream base, which can be a little bit confusing on how to use. This one is cream to powder, but this one stays cream. And then a Dream Glow highlight. Something was missing here in this. I didn't care for this as much. This cream blush was just a bit too pigmented for me, but of course it's great for deeper skin tones. It's a bit too red in tone. It was okay. I actually do prefer the Tinted Glow Cream base as a blush on me. It's a little bit more easy to work with. It doesn't have a dry down, but it is like a sheer reddish shade. If you have a deeper complexion, this could be a cool, I guess, kind of highlighty shade. My thing is, why 2 cream colored cheek products? It's like, I feel like you can really only go, at least on my skin tone, one or the other. And the highlight is very pretty. But yeah, I wasn't as in love with the color as I thought it was going to be. And I've just constantly felt like something was missing from this. So the quality is fine, but it's not something that I've really been wanting to reach for. I have this cream blush. It's from the brand JCat Beauty. It's a Blush Mallow soft blusher, so it's one of those like putty blushes. It's a little bit stiffer than a lot of other putty blushes that I've tried. It's really pretty. It's not overly pigmented. I do have to go in a couple times to get my desired amount of pigment. It lasts a long time. This is a decent formula. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking, but it's an okay putty blush formula. My thing is, it's a little bit stiffer than some of the other ones that I've used. Not saying that it's stiff though. It's just stiffer. But it still has a nice creamy touch. It has that putty blend, which looks really seamless and kind of does this sheer blend into the skin for you. It's fun. I like it. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's not a bad product, but I also, like, am not in love with it. It's, like, a good product, though. Does that make sense? There's just so many blushes. They're a dime a dozen. There's not much more to say. There's so much competition out there as well. Now, the next blush that I have is a very pricey blush. This is from Chanel. It's the Le Beige Water Fresh blush. I picked this up with, you know, the Le Beige foundation. This one also took a while for me to review, but not because I didn't like it. There's just an overwhelming amount of blushes being launched. But this one's really pretty. I do feel like I need to blend it out on my hand first before applying it, but it looks really juicy on the cheeks, not in an obnoxious, like overly glowy kind of way, but just like a wet, fresh look on the cheek. It's really gorgeous. Sometimes Chanel can be so underwhelming to me, but I feel like they have some really good products, and this is a really cool, unique blush product. It's a bit finicky for how much you pay for it, but it's beautiful. I have a powder blush. This is one I picked up at Ulta one day. It's a classic from MAC. It's the mineralized blush in the shade Warm Soul. It's gorgeous. It has that glowy mineralized finish. This is the perfect summer peachy shade. It leaves a pretty glow to the skin. This is an OG cult classic for a reason. I think it's going to go with so many skin tones. It's going to go with so many different eye looks as well. Beautiful formula, not overly glowy. Just gives that bronze, glowy, peachy look. Gorgeous. Amazing quality. This has made me want to try more colors as well. So this one is from Profusion. This is from their holiday collection. So she's been in my speed reviews drawer for a while. This is the Festive Glow Nourishing Balm Stick. It gives such a pretty wet, literally wet look on the skin. Now it is a balm. If you put it over makeup like I did today, it will mess up how even the makeup looks. It'll kind of push and move it around, so it's not great for that. But for no makeup days, days where you don't have much on the face foundation-wise, this will give a wet, dewy look to the cheek. It's balmy though. That's not a consistency that I desire a lot, but it is very hydrating. It's not my cup of tea for a product. But if you're desiring a really glowy, juicy, wet balm stick, this one from Profusion is a great, affordable one. I mean, I have expensive ones from like Chanel and Dior, like this. And I think I might pick this over my Chanel and Dior ones because of how infrequently I use a product like this. Like, it's nice to have every now and then without having to pay Dior and Chanel prices. So that's it for complexion. Let's move on to the few eye products that I have. The first one are some colors of the Haus Labs High Power Pigment Paint that I picked up. The last time I talked about these, I did a video over the holidays with them. But before that, it was like when Haus Labs first came out. I don't often reach for paints like these, but these colors were really cool for the holidays, which is when I purchased these. I'm just a powder eyeshadow girl, but I did pick up the Cocoa Matte one, and this surprisingly is very easy to blend out for being a liquid. It can be intimidating. It's more work than just popping on a powder eyeshadow, but if you need the makeup to stay, a product like this is really great. You can also use these as eyeliner because they have so much pigment and they do set down. But the main reason was I wanted a silver and a gold, and these are really pretty. Like I said, they're waterproof. They're not going to go anywhere. I have on the gold shimmer today. It just adds a really pretty, foolproof, very easy to use gold shimmer on the eyelid. But the silver shimmer is a little bit more complex. Both of these are gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, I don't reach for these style of products too often, but when I need to, these Haus Labs are relatively easy to work with and very pretty colors. I mean, I feel like they have every color under the sun. Next up, I have these duos from Catrice. These are the Highlighting Hero Duo Pencils. I tend to really like products like these. So one side is a matte pencil and then another side is a shimmer pencil. I give these a 50% score because the matte side, really nice, really creamy, really easy to blend. I like to use a product like these under the brows to clean up and highlight and brighten and just make the area look a little bit more put together. The shimmer shades, however, are kind of stiff, a little bit harder to use. They don't look smooth really when you apply them. They kind of mess up the concealer that you have, at least on me. I don't know about you, but on me, they do. So they're Catrice, so they're pretty affordable, but just know really only 50% of the product is great. So I like the matte side, I don't like the shimmer side. I have an eyeliner from MAC that I've been using. It's an eye kohl in the shade Power Surge. So this is a really natural bronzy shade, so I've been using it for very natural definition days. Pretty much a no eyeliner kind of look is what this gives. This gives a really subtle definition to the eye, but you can't really tell that you have anything there. It also is really pretty in the waterline. If you don't like darkness in the waterline but you want some depth, this is a really pretty color. It's easy to apply. It's a drier side, but like a dry powdery formulation, which makes it really easy to work with. I would say just as a shade itself, I would have preferred it just a little bit deeper. I got this as a free gift with purchase when I was at MAC and purchased a number of things. But yeah, it's a nice, easy to use pencil. I like this color, but I wouldn't repurchase it. But it's really easy to work with and blend out and apply. There's not a lot of drag or anything. 2 mascaras to share with you. The first one that I have is from MAC. This is the MAC Stack mascara that I've heard great things about. It makes my lashes look really nice. It gives a lot of length to the lashes. My only thing is, how I like to do my makeup is I will curl my lash, then I will apply the mascara, and then after it dries down, I recurl it just to give it that final lift. This mascara takes forever to dry down, so by the time I'm done with my makeup, my lashes are still a little bit wet and soft, so when I go to curl them, it makes the lashes clumpy. So for that reason, this is not a mascara that I'll continue using or will ever purchase again, just because since my lashes are so straight, I need to get in that final curl, and it's very inconvenient to do it with this. Like my lashes will dry, but it takes like 30 minutes, and that's a little much. So I'm not a fan of this. The other one that I've been using, this one is also really good with how it makes my lashes look. This is the About Face mascara. I mean, this one holds a curl really well. It gives a nice amount of length also, but there is a catch to this one. I find this one extremely difficult to take off. Like, I feel like I lose lashes whenever I try to take this off. That's how hard it is to get this guy off. So I like it. It does a good job, but again, I'm not going to repurchase it because it's a pain in the booty to get this guy off. Okay, next up, we are moving into the lip section. So I've been using these Tarte Maracuja Juicy lip creams. So these are a little bit more different than the trending product where it's like a lip gloss in a stick form. These are literally lipsticks in a stick form. So these are a really nice formula. They're like a sheer lipstick formulation. I demoed Iris. I also demoed Grace after that if you need the colors. But I really like these because these don't pack on too much pigment on the lips, so they're really pretty to blend with like a lip liner, and they're really comfortable, they're really soft. These are an underrated product. I feel like nobody talks about the lip creams from Tarte. They just talk about the lip oil, the lip gloss, but these are a really pretty sheer-ish, sheer but buildable, I would say. A buildable lipstick formulation. They're comfortable, they're hydrating, and the colors are really soft and pretty. So underrated lip product that I've been enjoying. Now these next products I really wasn't sure how to break up. You'll recall Odin's Eye did their legendary Diversa Part 2 collection. So in the swatches, I swatched all of the lip products. So the top 3 are from Annette's collection, the middle is from Tina's collection, and then the bottom 3 are from Judy's collection. So most of the ladies chose to do like glossy formulations, which Odin's Eye has a couple. They have a glow formulation, they have a shine formulation. All of the shades that the ladies chose were on the more bold side. There's a couple exceptions because there are 9 shades. So those have been really fun to wear just for a bold lip, but not too bold because most of them are gloss formulations. If you're shopping for lips on Odin's Eye websites, the shines are going to be more glossy. And then the glows I like, they look a little bit flat, but they make any matte lipstick really hydrating and so much more comfortable. So that's kind of all I have to say about those. They've been really pretty colorful glosses that if I needed a little bit of brightness to the face, I've been able to reach for those ladies' collections. And Odin's Eye lip formulations are a pretty nice formula. My favorite is the Glow. I think it's the most versatile and unique formulation in the line. And if you were wondering, the shade that I demoed was Shine Endurance. Such a unique shade. These ladies, I feel like they did such a good job with creating unique and fun colors as well that are still quite wearable. So that's those. Those are formulas that I had experiences with already, just some new colors that I've been playing around with. This next one is from the brand Gosh, another European brand that I picked up. So this is the Soft and Tinted Lip Balm. I like this. It's nice, it's hydrating, but it's not as good as, like, say, the Summer Fridays. So yeah, these are pretty. It gives a sheer level of color, has a nice smell to it, but not as hydrating as the popular ones in the US. So this is decent for an affordable price point. If you are located in Europe and you're looking for a tinted balm, this is a nice formulation, but not as good as some of the more popular ones that you might be seeing online. And then the last product that I have is from MAC. We had a few MAC products in here. We definitely did. But this is the Squirt Plumping Gloss Stick. These are really messy. They are really, really wet. It's one of those lip glosses in a stick form, but it really is like very wet, especially if you live in a warm climate. Be very careful with these. Only press the button up once or twice. Every time I use this, I'm tempted to just get a lip brush and just stick it at the top to apply the product, but I'll give this credit. It's a beautiful product. I mean, I love this sensation that it gives on the lips because it does have a little bit of a plumping feel to it. It has a perfect sheer, but still you can tell the color layer of pigment to the lips. It's really glossy. The product itself is beautiful. I don't know that it should have been in this stick form though. It's a little too globby for my preferences. And that's all that I have for today's speed reviews. Of course, you guys know I do my speed reviews all the time, so make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want more. All of these products I have given you my final opinion on, having used these multiple times. So these are going to go into the main population of my makeup collection. They are no longer going to be in my testing drawer. So if you were curious about any of these products after I first talked about them, I hope that I was able to give you the update that you were looking for. So thank you guys so much for watching this video and being subscribed to my channel and liking this video. I appreciate you. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.